Welcome to The Worst with Chad Austin. Before I introduce my guest, I'm going to make an announcement because at the end of the day, I'm the one that pays for this show, so it's mainly about me. And I've spent the last 8 years pretending like I'm not balding. And you know what? Just 3-4 days ago, I just finally said, fuck it. And I'm bald. And I've now joined the ranks of esteemed colleagues like Joe Rogan. I'm now a bald podcaster who thinks he's funny. You can call me Slow Rogan, because I'm fat. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to say about myself. Let me get into it with my guest here. Hi, this is Adouria.
Hi.
Adouria is a fellow comic.
Mm-hmm.
And she rushed over here after work, fought all kinds of traffic and hell, made it close to on time. Close
to on time.
And we're bringing this up. I'm not trying to shame her. We're bringing this up because a mutual friend, one that was just the most recent guest on the show, Mr. Austin Graham.
Mr. Austin Graham.
This man, I was telling her to not feel bad about being late because this man was on time and I was actually running 5 minutes late because I was coming from work. And then he goes, cool, I'll be right back. And then disappears for 20 minutes and then shows back up with a friend and his dad and a big bowl of pasta.
A big bowl of pasta?
Yeah. They didn't eat it while they were here, but they just had it. They stopped to get it on their way here.
You don't see in the YouTube episode.
No, yeah. He kept it off camera, which is I was grateful for.
What kind of pasta was it?
It looked like just a big bowl of sketty, dude. It was just some red sauce pasta, and it wasn't even anything special. He didn't even really have to. You could make that at home. What he stopped
make that
for.
At home.
But he made his way in. We had a good time, and I think that we're gonna have an even better time because you seem like a better person than him.
I didn't bring spaghetti with me.
Shit.
I didn't bring my dad. He's dead.
My dad's dead too.
Hey.
We already have things in common. This is our first time meeting, and we're already friends. We bond over dead dads. It's the Dead Dads Club.
Dead Dads Club.
Yep, that's the name of the game here.
Honestly, Dead Dads Club has a good time.
It really does. There's less people that you have to worry about embarrassing with your life choices.
Yes.
And I went through a lot of that. Well, how old were you when your dad died?
I was 19, but he wasn't super around when I was growing up, and he started trying to really make an effort right before he died, and I was like, this is weird. And then he died, and I was like, did he know? Did he know he was gonna die?
See, that has that feeling. That has almost a sitcom feeling to it.
Yeah.
Where it's just I need to make amends before I go. See, the difference was my dad. He was around. He just wasn't around. He was there. He just was off in his own little world. My dad did this thing when I was young. My dad did this thing where he would get off work. And then he would call my mom and be like, hey, don't worry about me for dinner. I'm going to the office. And when he said he was going to the office, he meant he was going to the bar down the street.
Oh.
And so he would go hang out there for a few hours and then, come home around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then I would see him for a half hour. And that was 5 days a week type thing.
Oh, no.
And, and then it was as he got old. The funny thing was, as he got older, he got more involved.
Yeah.
Especially once I had a kid.
Okay.
Well. Especially once I had, dude, when he had a granddaughter, he always wanted to be around.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah, no, he was a surly old goat, but once he got older, he became a sweet mountain goat.
A little more gentle, yeah.
Yeah, and it was so he wasn't bad in the last few years, but he was kind of a dick growing up. So
yeah,
I have many, and the thing is too is I have found bonding relationships over this because I have many friends in the Dead Dads Club.
In fact, people,
so many that I actually made a sweatshirt that says Dead Dads Club, and I
want one.
I will give you one. All right, enough about our dead dads because that's a weird way to start this shit. But I just want to get into it. Are you participating in No Nut November?
Am I participating in No Nut November? I thought that was specific for guys.
Is it? I don't like
know.
the gender things. I'm I'm on top of it right now.
I'm actually Christian, so I'm not having sex, so it's no nut all year round.
No nut, no never.
No nut, no never.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
good for you.
It's all year round. It's great.
It sounds fantastic. What did you do for Halloween?
I went as a nun, which wasn't blasphemous because I'm not Catholic. And actually, the coffee shop that Austin works at, should I say?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Whatever. Whatever. If somebody comes to fight him, whatever. He works at Il Cafe. They had like a night market. Shout out to Rachel, whose last name I don't know how to say, but she runs like a night swap called, it's like Good Hands Market, and they do like a night flea market once a month, and it was so cool. They had like a tarot card reader, a bunch of like vintage shops. Somebody was like there doing tattoos. So they threw like a big old shindig outside of this coffee shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, outside of Il Cafe downtown.
That's cool. I saw pictures and videos of Austin. He was Sailor Moon, right?
Yeah. It was. I couldn't look at him in his short skirt.
Yeah, I mean, it was really like the beard and the wig that did it for me.
It was the blonde wig and the really dark brown
dark beard. It was such a great contrast.
It's a good contrast.
And the funny thing is like that's my wife's like all-time favorite is Sailor Moon. Like when she was when she was a teenager, she like ran a fan site. And
did she see his costume?
I showed her because at the same time that I was looking at it, she was wearing her costume. She has a full-on like.
Shut up! She also went as Sailor Moon.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
And my daughter, she had a wardrobe change. She started off as Bo Peep, and then for trick or treating at night, she turned into Chibi Moon, which is Sailor Moon's daughter.
Oh.
So it was like the dynamic duo, and then we ended up going and doing this. I guess I can't remember the name of the street. They probably don't want me to say it anyways, but there's like this rich neighborhood in Laurel Canyon that just completely blocks off their block and turns it into like a trick-or-treating party and shit.
That's amazing.
So we drove over there, hiked like a mile to get to this street because it was all blocked off. Went trick-or-treating up there, but it was like 10 times colder in that area. So my daughter was not having it. She was so ready to go.
Was your wife into Austin's costume, or did she hate it?
You know what? I think that she felt threatened. I think she felt threatened by how good his was. And I'm not trying to big up you, like Austin. My goal is to put you down whenever I can, but you looked sexy. And I mean, it is what it is. You pulled it off, kid.
He pulled it off.
I mean, eventually.
Had a couple close calls with that skirt, though.
I'm sure he did. Oh, man. Okay. So I always start this off before we get into like the whole namesake of the show, the worst. I have a couple news stories that I pull from the internet.
Okay.
Never anything of major importance. Mm-hmm. My main news source is TMZ.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, if National Enquirer was like a really big like thing still, I'd probably just go there and we'd be talking about Sasquatch being pregnant with twins or something. But
hell yeah.
At this point, we are on TMZ, and this is actually something that I've been wanting to talk about for a little over a week because it came out right before Halloween. Michael Myers of Halloween fame is an alleged homophobe.
Whoa.
Based off of the new movie, Halloween Kills. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen any of his movies?
No.
Okay.
I do know who Michael Myers is. I know that Jamie Lee Curtis is in like all of them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And she's just always like, oh my God, he's still on the loose. And everyone's like, shut up.
Basically.
Is the basis, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
It's just like, that's her little brother. Yeah, backstory. This is my all-time favorite horror movie. It's like the original Halloween.
Okay.
Mainly because I always found Michael when I was a kid. I found Michael Myers spooky. Also, parents, terrible job at showing me this when I was like fucking 8, but I found Michael Myers spooky because he never runs. He just slowly and creepily walks.
Yeah, I think that's scarier.
Somehow always catches up to you. And he just kills anybody in his path. And then he also does this thing where he'll be like staring at you, like I'm staring at Michael right now. And then once you feel the eyes on you and you look, then he's not there anymore. It's just like, and then it's horrifying.
Scariest thing ever.
So when I was a little kid taking out the trash at night or something, and I would turn the corner, I would feel like he was standing behind me, but I knew if I turned around, he wouldn't be there anyways.
So you would just never turn around?
No, I would turn around, but I was just like, either way, if he's there, and I'm fucked. Because no one's coming out to get me. I'm just the child taking out the trash that's scared to death of the dark. Back to what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So in the new movie, it's a long story, but he almost dies. He gets out of a fiery pit of hell. He's almost died many times.
Oh, gosh.
He gets out of this fiery pit, just murders a bunch of firemen, goes back to his old street where his house was, and it turns out that a gay couple has bought his house.
Oh,
and basically like a gentrifying situation where like this old beat up house that everyone was afraid of getting, the young gay couple moved in and they it was a fixer upper.
Okay.
Bringing the neighborhood back type thing. And he goes in there because it's his house, or, in his heart, still his house.
It's still his house.
It has sentimental value. That's where he murdered his whole family.
Yeah, he might be a murderer, but, like, he's sentimental.
Right? Like, I mean, you have to have something you hold on to.
Yeah.
So he goes in there and he kills both of them. Sorry to spoil this for you. But this is basically what he does at all times. So you could imagine that if he interacts with anybody, they're going to die.
Yes.
Except for, like, Jamie Lee Curtis. But
I'd expect that.
So he kills both of them, and then somebody goes on Twitter and says, wow, I didn't expect Michael Myers to be homophobic in the new movie. And it's just wild to me that now our fake serial killer slashers that have been around for 40 years have to worry about being homophobic. Do you have thoughts on this? Do you know any slasher movies? Do you watch any of them?
I do like... Dang, now I'm blanking, like, off the top of my head. I haven't seen, like, a slasher movie in such a long time. It's been a long time.
Okay.
I didn't watch anything scary over Halloween.
No, not your thing?
I watched, like, I like The Shining.
One of the best movies
ever
made.
That's, like, not as slashery.
No, it's not a slasher movie, but it's definitely one of my all-time favorites.
I feel like, how would you categorize Michael Myers? Because he's, like, more than a murderer.
No, yeah. I mean, he is a full-blown serial killer maniac. Like,
I feel like serial killer maniacs aren't, like... I don't know. I don't feel like he's, like, specific to... And they're in his house.
Yeah.
They're in his house. This makes me think of, like... I don't know. I think about The Wizard of Oz, which is a very different movie. But, like,
I love where you're going with this.
Everyone's mad at the Wicked Witch. But, like... What the fuck? Dorothy just, like, dropped her house on the Wicked Witch's sister and then stole her shoes. Like, how I would come after Dorothy, too. I'd be like, this bitch just took my dead sister's shoes?
Right? Like, how fucked up is that?
So, if I'm thinking about it from that perspective, if I were Michael Myers, I'd be like, these people just fucked up my house and they moved in and this is my house. I'd kill whoever that was. Could be a straight couple, could be a gay couple. I don't think that makes him. I feel like they're just like, I don't know. I feel like today we look for things to like cancel, and
right. Like we look for things to like anger us, right?
Yes.
And I find that really strange because like a bunch of my friends, not really friends, but like people that I work with in the bar industry that are just like warriors for injustice now that like they had a year off and they had nothing better to do. Mm-hmm. They've been reposting this Instagram page called Awful Humans. Have you seen it?
No, I have to see that.
Yeah, it's worth a look, but at the same time, I refuse to follow it because I don't want that to be in my feed where I'm just seeing things that are gonna fucking anger me.
Yeah,
because somebody is being a dick to somebody at Starbucks or they're shouting a racial slur, and then you're like on the manhunt constantly to find, let's find him and let's get it's like social media feels like a witch hunt.
Yeah, I could see that. It definitely does feel like that at times. And like, I always hear people joke like, oh my God, like if I make it big, like I'm so worried about some tweet coming up from when I was like 12. I'm like, we're going to get canceled. Everyone's worried about being canceled, but we're also all canceling each other.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It's the Ouroboros, the snake that eats its own tail?
Yes.
Yeah. It's it feels like it's like a nonstop thing right now. Like you know what that kind of reminds me of is the whole like we're gonna cancel everybody, but I'm afraid to was with that recent. I've been speaking about this at nauseum, but that recent Netflix walkout, like the main one of the main girls that put that all together.
Yeah.
Did you see somebody dug into her Twitter?
I didn't see somebody dug into her Twitter, but I know about the walkout. Oh gosh, what did they find?
Dude, she is the most racist towards Asian people. Like just basically like I mean there's shit in there that I don't even want to repeat, but just like this little Chinaman blah 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 blah, then why do they let these people drive? I want to punch this guy in the face just for existing. I mean wild shit.
Really bad stuff.
Wild shit. And the funny thing is I feel like it's mostly people that have those backgrounds that try to put all of the focus on somebody else.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. We've all said like stupid shit at one point or another, especially in like middle school, in high school, probably in college too. People say stupid shit all the time.
I mean, I feel like when, especially at those ages, you should be able to get a pass. Like, your brain's not fully developed.
She has like a whole like, if that's like a consistent pattern in her Twitter, like she's like fuck her.
She's a serial Asian hater.
Yeah, fuck her. But if it's like one thing, or like Michael Myers killed one gay couple, okay, he's probably not a homophobe.
No, dude, honestly, if anything, he's maybe the most like equal opportunity person I've ever seen.
Totally.
Like it doesn't matter who you are. If you're in the way of this knife and my mission, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's. If anything, I think very liberal people should enjoy him because he's definitely doesn't back the blue. You've seen him kill 100 cops. You know, he
is not a Blue Lives Matter.
Not a Blue Lives Matter. He's not a capitalist. I've never seen him pay for anything. He just takes anything he wants.
Not a capitalist.
So socialism, dude. He's all about, just you got it, you're gonna share it.
Probably voted for Bernie Sanders. I
think that Michael Myers felt the burn.
He probably felt the burn.
100%. But it's it's just a weird world we're living in where it's just but also I feel like it's one of those things where it's so just in the moment. Like I'm bringing this up right now, but I think people already stopped talking about it a week and a half ago. But I just always I thought it was funny, and it's
still relevant.
Yeah,
it's still important. Yeah, somebody's got to defend the good name of Michael Myers.
Dude, we gotta protect the ones that we love. That's all I'm saying.
Protect the ones that we love.
Okay. Next thing. Do you know who Vincent Gallo is?
No.
Have you ever seen a movie called Buffalo 66?
No.
Okay, so in the mid 90s, mid 90s, I'd say, early to mid 90s, there was a guy who he's pretty much fallen off nowadays, but he was very famous for a movie called Buffalo 66.
Okay.
He also did a movie called Brown Bunny. Okay. And Brown Bunny not as widely receptive because there's like very visual graphic sex scenes where you're actually basically watching penetration. It's almost it's a softcore porn.
Okay.
With an actual storyline.
Okay.
So this guy was like back then, especially like around a lot of the people that I know, he was kind of like the sex symbol. Like he looks like he and he doesn't look like anything special to me. He looks like he's on heroin. I mean, here, this is a picture of him. This is Vincent Gallo.
Looks like a regular dude.
Looks like a regular dude, right? But there was so many people that just had the straight up hots for this guy. So the other day I'm on Twitter and I see this thing where it's somebody had just retweeted a link to his merch site.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go look and see what's happening.
What's going on with Vincent?
What's going on with Vincent? Let me tell you what's going on with Vincent. Vincent has a section in his merchandise page called personal services. Now, good old actor Vincent. He's also a musician and a photographer, and he's every form of artist.
Wow.
He is the world of pretentiousness in a man. He has a section called Vincent Gallo Evenings Weekend Escort.
Oh no, Vincent!
Where you can pay $50,000.
$50,000.
$50,000 for a night with Vincent Gallo.
A night with Vincent.
Now, while that is already funny enough, I need to pull it closer because even though I have glasses on, my eyes are still bad. Well, that is already funny enough. What he wrote, like trying to, lure people into purchasing his services, might be even funnier. Actually, I know it's funny.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Tell me about a night with Vincent.
I'm not even going to get into the beginning because there's a whole rambling about how when he was growing up, he had a hard on for like 6 different actresses and wished that he can be with them. And I mean, it's drivel. But then we get into the second paragraph because there's multiple paragraphs.
Oh, wow.
Where he says, I, Vincent Gallo, star of such classics as Buffalo 66 and The Brown Bunny, have decided to make myself available to all women.
Wow. Very thoughtful.
All women who can afford me, that is. For the modest fee of $50,000 plus expenses, so if you have to fly him somewhere, you're paying, plus expenses, I can fulfill the wish, dream, or fantasy of any natural-born female woman.
Natural-born.
Natural-born. No trans. The fee covers one evening with Vincent Gallo. For those who wish to enjoy my company for the weekend, the fee is increased to a mere $100,000.
Wow.
Such a generous guy, right?
So generous.
Heavyset, older, redheads, and even black chicks.
Wow. He's got a very wide palette for women.
He doesn't discriminate as long as you're a natural-born woman. Even black chicks can have me if they pay the bill. No real female will be refused.
No real female. Oh my gosh.
However, I highly frown upon any male. However, I highly frown upon any male having even the slightest momentary thought or wish that they could have ever become my client. Just wants to throw that out there.
Can't even have the thought or wish.
No thought or wish. Don't even think about hitting that
person. So you can't think about it, but I can think about it.
Yeah, because you're a natural-born woman.
Natural-born woman.
He could ever even think about becoming my client, period. No way, Jose. Period.
No way, Jose.
However, female couples of the lesbian persuasion can enjoy a Vincent Gallo evening together for $100,000 or $200,000 buys lesbos a weekend.
Wow. So they have to pay more because there's more of them.
And then the sentence after is a weekend that will have them second guessing. He is willing to travel worldwide to accommodate clients. However, travels are billed. It's the $50,000 plus premium flights, lodging, food. I mean, let's see. He also requires if he's traveling, he requires extra fees for security to protect him.
Yes, because so many women want him.
I mean, they're
hungry. They're gonna attack him.
Is fearing what could possibly be if
and
he
men probably.
I mean, that's what he's really fearing.
Yes,
like any natural-born woman, it's all game.
Yeah.
It's him walking down the street of a strange city and seeing and making eye contact with a man.
I know.
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose.
Potential clients are advised to screen the controversial scene from Brown Bunny.
They are advised.
And make sure they can fully accommodate all of me. Basically, the man's just like...
Basically, Vincent has a very large penis.
He's like, I have a huge dick, and you have to watch this
watch my movie. Make sure you can receive me.
Clients who have any doubt may want to test themselves with an unusually thick and large prosthetic prior to meeting me.
Okay, noted, because I might do this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? Like when the time comes and you decide, hey, what am I working for? What am I saving money to do?
Yes. As soon as I hit it big as a comedian, a night with Vincent.
A night with Vincent.
That's what I'm working towards.
And I will live vicariously through you because no way Jose for me.
No way Jose for you, but I can tell you about it. Yeah. But don't tell Vincent.
No.
He might make me sign an NDA.
Most likely he will, or he'll make you charge like an extra $25,000 to share the experience with somebody, especially if it's a dude.
Yes.
But yeah, his services are payable cash, check, or bank wire. It's fine.
Amazing.
And but you know what? That's not the only thing he's offering.
Whoa. There's more?
There's more.
Oh my gosh, tell me.
This is like the greatest infomercial. Vincent, if you I should put a promo code on this, because Vincent, if you land anything off of this episode,
you're welcome.
I need a cut. Vincent Gallo's sperm. $1 million.
$1 million for Vincent's sperm?
Now, I know what you're thinking. How could we get such great of a deal?
I know. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
And you know what? Vincent's going to tell you.
Great.
The price includes costs of one attempt of in vitro fertilization, which is a $50,000 value. If you don't know, he's looked it up. If it's unsuccessful, the purchaser of sperm will still pay all medical costs for a second attempt. Mr. Gallo will supply sperms for as many attempts as it takes to complete a successful fertilization. You're going to keep on paying, though. All sperm is guaranteed from Mr. Gallo, who is drug and alcohol and disease free. Just once.
Love that.
The man's living a clean life. Just wants everyone to know that. Let's see. There was some of this is kind of boring. He just gets into, he's talking about how he's a multi-talented athlete who has several awards for performing in games such as baseball, football, hockey, and almost making it to the professional level of Grand Prix motorcycle racing.
Wow.
You're getting an athlete.
You're having an athlete's baby.
Mr. Gallo is 5'11".
Tall.
And he has blue eyes.
Beautiful.
And there's no known genetic deformities in his ancestry. In parentheses, no cripples. God, dude. It's okay. So
this is a great deal.
I mean, okay. Wait.
I gotta hop on this. Send me that link.
More.
Oh my God, there's more?
No history of congenital diseases. And if you have seen Brown Bunny, we're going back to that, the potential size of the genitals if it's a boy. In parentheses, 8 inches if he's like his father. I don't know. I don't know exactly how a well-hung father can enhance a girl, but it probably will.
That's what he wrote?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yep. But also, Mr. Gallo will blend well for a more softly featured female. His sperm works for everybody.
Nice. It's for everyone.
As long as you're a natural-born female.
Yes.
I want, honestly, for $1 million, because he never mentions natural-born female in the sperm thing. I wonder if he'd sell it to a gay couple.
If you could buy it.
Oh, yeah, or I could buy it.
Or a gay couple.
Yeah, like if he'd sell it to a gay couple and they could, find a woman to do the in vitro on. I'm going to email, because there is a contact.
There's a contact.
There's a contact. You can contact him. I'm going to email Mr. Gallo and find out if I was in a gay relationship, if I could spend the $1 million on his sperm. I wonder if he has a problem with that. I mean,
he doesn't say. He doesn't specify.
He seems pretty open to almost everything. I mean, he's down for heavy set.
Yes.
He's down for redheads, even black chicks.
Yes.
It's I mean, I know, in the world of woke, I think Mr. Gallo is faring just fine.
I'm really more interested in knowing, like, who's actually like reached out and like purchased a night with Vincent.
My thoughts on this are, I feel like it happened as a fluke at one point. Like
somebody purchased a night with him.
Some random like debutante in New York City, because that's where he lives, offered him X amount of money for his services.
And then he made a career out of it.
Yeah, and then he was like, holy shit, I wonder if I can do this more.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I like doing this. This is a fine hobby to have. But yeah, man, that's that is the Vincent Gallo personal ads, and I'm glad that I could share those with you.
That is so great. I want to know how many like babies he is running around on this earth.
I hope that he has so many babies.
I hope so many.
I hope that he has so many blue-eyed, black-haired, 5'11", 8-inch cocked babies running around. That would be so weird if they were all. Okay, never mind.
That's honestly excellent.
Okay, so I didn't realize it, but we're quite a far ways into this episode, so let's get into some of the worst. Yeah,
Vincent,
you took up so much time.
Took up as much time as his dick would take up space.
Okay, so with the worst, I have a series of questions that I ask based on your worst experiences, and it'll be a little different because I think I already have an answer to one of them. I
still have stories if it's the question I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You can still ask.
Have you ever done any drugs?
I have smoked weed before. Yeah.
Do you have any bad experiences on the pot?
Because oh my gosh, yes, actually.
Okay, good.
Okay. I don't know when. I think my mom gave it to me for something. My mom gave me like an edible when I like wasn't feeling well. It was in the safety of my own home, and I wasn't feeling well, or I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I had anxiety. I honestly can't remember. But she was like, "Oh, like take this edible. It'll be fine." Like, and my mom is like not like a great judge of anything, so she gave me probably too much. And I remember waking up at like 2 a.m. and like I was so high, but it was like not a good high, and I felt like sick at the same time, and I literally like passed out. I fainted, and my grandma woke up because she like heard me hit something, and then the paramedics showed up and they were like, "Are you on drugs?" And I was like, "No, I'm not on drugs." I was so scared. I was like, "Oh my God, they're going to find out I have the edible. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to go to jail." And they like dragged me down the stairs, and I was like, I can't even walk good right now. Why are you dragging me down these stairs? I threw up on like one of the cops' shoes. I was like, "This is your fault. This is what you get." And they were like so aggressive. And I was like, dang, like I'm a nice, like, not to be like white privilegey, but I was like, I'm a nice white chick. Like, I'm a good, like, you're in a nice neighborhood. Like, don't be so rough with me. And then they like called the paramedics, and the paramedics showed up, and they're like, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" And I was like, "No, this is all very dramatic. I do not want to go to the hospital." They took me to the hospital. I was so worried that they were going to like test me and be like, "Oh my God, she's underage and she has weed in her system. Who did this?" And yeah, that was pretty bad.
Goes to jail.
And then my mom goes to jail. What a mess.
I will say though, one of my dearest friends who is black always tells me that when you have the white privilege, you use it.
Yeah, she was like,
don't let it go to waste.
I thought I was gonna fall down the stairs. She was like dragging me down there, like, "Are you on drugs?" And I was like, "No, I'm not on drugs." It was so stressful.
See, and that's the thing too, is because when you're already having a bad experience, because I would say a good 85%, if not 90%, when people are having a bad experience on weed is always an edible.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
It's always an edible
because you always eat a little bit and you're like, "I don't feel anything," and then you eat more. But which was not the case with me. My mom just like gave me a big old chunk of like weed brownies, so that's on my mother.
No, yeah, I'd say that anytime I've ever had like any type of like massive panic attack on any type of drug, it's always been edibles for weed. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm a big guy, I can handle this. And then like 45 minutes later, I'm like holding onto the chair like, dude, how long does this fucking fast because I need it
You
to
are
be
not
over
okay.
right now. Should I get in the shower? No. Okay. What am I? I'm panicking. And it's just, yeah. I mean, and it's and all of that conversation happens in my head. I'll sit next to my wife while I'm freaking out, and she'll be none the wiser, because I'm just like, oh, she handles this so well, and I feel like such a little bitch. Don't even say anything. Worst sexual experience.
Okay, I do have a great story that I talk about when I do stand up. I tell this story. Oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't watch this. we didn't have sex, but just like some very ridiculous. I made out with this guy, and I was not going to have sex with him, and he got really upset with me. He was significantly drunker. I had like one beer. He was very drunk. And he starts getting upset, and he was like, "You're not going to throw it back for me," which, like, couldn't do that even if I wanted to. And I was like, "No, like, it's a church girl thing. You wouldn't get it." And he was like, "No, if you're a really church girl, you'd let me fuck you from behind." And I'm like trying to leave, and he starts arguing with me, and he's getting really defensive, and he's like, I could fuck you like no one could. Like, you're just scared because you can't handle this dick. And I'm like, you're right. Like, I should leave.
You're right. I'm scared.
I don't have the skill set to handle this. And I go to leave, and he has a shoe rack right by his door. And the last thing he says to me is, "You're telling me you don't want to get fucked up against this shoe rack." And then I left. It's not a great offer that I was willing. It wasn't a night with Vincent.
No. I mean, that doesn't seem like the type of gentlemanly shit that Vincent's into at all.
No.
Wow. You don't want to get fucked up against this shoe rack. It's almost in my head. It's almost going to be the name of this episode, but
I think it should be a night with Vincent. Should be the name of the episode.
I think it's going to be a night with Vincent. Okay, but on that whole, this is one of my dear friends growing up, who hasn't talked to me since this day.
Oh no.
He was super Christian,
mm-hmm.
and he had himself a girlfriend, and he was over at my house one day, and he told me, he's like, "Yeah, Chad, like I had sex with her," and I was like, "Oh, cool, man." And he goes, "Yeah," he's all, "but like we're trying to protect our virginities till marriage, so just anal." And I was
just
like,
anal.
I was like, how? Well, first of all, how is that a just?
Yeah.
I was like, because that seems way more major.
Yes.
And I was just so mind blown and boggled. So the very next day, I go into work, and we work together. Shout out to Red Robin in the desert. That was my first job. I worked there for 5 years. It was hell.
Wow.
And I go in, and it's just me and the opening bartender. And I tell him, I was like, "Hey, man, did you know that Magic Matt?" I was
sorry. Sorry, Magic Matt.
Sorry, Magic Matt. I was like, "Did you know that Magic Matt only does anal with his girlfriend?" And of course he didn't, because I'm the only person that Magic Matt told.
Right.
But it was me being a 17-year-old kid that was excited with information about that. I didn't know anybody that did anal at the time. And so Matt walks into the bar, and the very first thing the bartender says to him is, "Hey, man, I hear you blast your girl in the ass."
That is so funny.
And he just looks over at me with anger and a little bit of tears in his eyes and walks out of the restaurant. And we haven't been close since.
No more you and Magic Mike. Now we know why they call him Magic Mike.
Yeah, the funny thing was he was actually his name was Magic Matt because he was on Friday nights. On Friday nights at Red Robin, we had a magician that would walk around and do magic for the kids. Oh. And he started working there as a busser, met the magician who was like the 65-year-old guy who wanted to quit. So then he became the magician's apprentice. He was a restaurant magician's apprentice until he got good enough to take over. And then he became the restaurant magician, which mainly was like, balloon animals and like sleight of hand card tricks and shit,
Wow.
but mainly balloon animals. Like these kids just wanted swords and hats.
Swords and hats.
So that, but you know, that's the story of Magic Matt.
Magic Matt. Wow.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Orange County.
You did. That's where I was born. What was the worst thing about Orange County to you?
Oh gosh, so many things.
Right.
Orange County is like a very, I don't know. It's like little things, you know. It's just such a bubble. You go there now, and like the worst thing is like the Trump protests at Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
It's just a very like conservative. I feel this is the worst thing about Orange County is like, and this is the most different thing between I think Orange County and LA is like everyone in Orange County like hides their weird, and like puts on such a front.
Absolutely.
Like everyone there is like, not everyone. There are some great people. My grandma lives in Orange County. She's great. But everyone there is like secretly like a rapist or a pedophile or something awful. And like everyone here is just like openly terrible.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
Which
like,
I appreciate the honesty.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's very out in the open. Like they're gonna tell you how terrible they are because they think that that's what gives them a personality and makes them like eclectic and weird.
Yes.
But no, I completely agree. Orange County, it's just a bunch of psychopaths with like this thin veiled mask.
Yes.
And like the littlest thing, they'll fucking snap.
Yes.
And I've seen it happen so many times. I was born in Orange County. Both my parents are from Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
So as a kid, like our family vacations were always just to go like visit my dad's friends in Orange County. so we just go out there and I would like hang out with his kids and then like they would do whatever, you know, weird ass shit.
Yeah, and then
wanted
when
to
like
do.
somebody does snap, everybody else who's like on the brink of snapping is like judging them so hard.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, yeah, the judgment is super real.
Orange County is like just it's full of Karens. It's full of Karens.
Absolutely, I would agree with that
They're
statement.
born there.
What's the worst show you've ever done?
Oh God, worst show.
Worst gig.
I don't have like a worst gig, but I have like a worst like mic. I like bombed, and then right after I walked out to my car and my tire was flat.
Dude, salt on the wound.
Or actually, I had a show on Saturday and I got in a car accident right before it, like outside the venue. It was just like a little fender bender. But like people were already lined up at the door and it happened in front of them.
Right in front of everybody.
Yes. So I had to like walk in there and be like, hey.
Hi, I'm one of the acts.
So that, I mean, the set was great. So that was hilarious. But just the car accident and like, yeah, pretty bad bomb.
Did you use any of the, since they were all outside?
Oh yeah, that's how I started.
Okay.
I was like, you guys might recognize me from the car accident that just happened. I'm okay.
I mean, it's a good way to break the ice.
It's a good way to break the ice. It gets the audience like to sympathize with you right away because they're like, oh my God,
It's like,
you
oh
okay?
yeah, I
I'm
did
like-
see you. I did see that happen.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing about deciding to be a stand-up?
Oof. The worst thing about deciding to be a stand-up, there's a few things that are like terrible. I'm still like learning how to, cause I'm pretty like fresh at this, but I'm still learning how to not like let a bunch of like people whose names I don't know like ruin my day because they didn't laugh at my jokes. So that's hard is like, you know, it's a job based on like what other people think about you, and like how successful you are is like based on other people's opinions about you. It's a very like not solid career. It's hard to be a female comedian. There's so many like shows that I've done or like mics that I've been to where I'm the only like female comic, and like all the dudes there are just like all trying to get at you. I think this is normal for most women, but it's like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I see. The funny thing is, like, I started way after I was already married and stuff. So I kind of stand back, and when I come out to open mics and whatnot, I kind of stand back in the corner and I watch it happen.
Yes.
You know, because I'm no longer on the hunt. I'm just like I'm chill.
Is your wife a comic?
No.
Yeah, so like I just feel like comics should not date other comics.
It rarely works
because both of you are just like waiting for your turn to talk. And with guy comics, they're just like talking at you, and then they're like, "Do you want to fuck me yet?" And I'm like, one guy called me and was like, I know you want to hear my voice. And I was like, if I wanted to hear your voice, like I would have watched you do your set.
I wouldn't have walked outside when you were going on.
It's rough.
All right. What do you think the worst thing about LA is?
I want to say parking tickets because I have 3 I need to pay. Worst thing about LA.
I mean, it can be that because and you can't find parking anywhere.
No, I was honestly surprised I found parking here. That was like, there's a spot right out front, which is great.
That rarely happens. I also found parking right out front, and
Nice.
I was amazed because usually I'm circling this block like 17 times.
Yeah. Parking. Man, I don't know. Just like there's so many like shitty people who like look at you and they're like, I'm better than you, and I'm like, but are you though? There's a whole city of those people.
Yeah. There's definitely there's definitely a feeling of I'm being looked down on a lot.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
All right. There's there's 2 more little segments, and then we're all wrapping up. The first one is called "What's Worse." There's going to be 2 options.
I'm excited.
You just tell me which one's worse. Do you know who the Island Boys are?
No.
You haven't seen these guys?
No.
Fuck. I need 1 second just because, I mean, as part of the what's worse, there's much context with just the way these morons look.
Wait, it's those guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Island boy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Okay. So here's the what's worse. You're a multimillionaire. You have every need, want taken care of. But you're in a poly relationship with the Island Boys and only can listen to their music for the rest of yours and their life.
Wow.
And be supportive.
Okay.
Or you live and date whoever you want, wherever you want, but you can never pursue your dreams in life.
Oh, fuck. What's worse?
Which one's worse?
You can date who you want, but you can't live your dreams. I don't know. I think maybe after a while, I would be like, yeah, Island Boys, this is great.
You just kind of like it's like what do they call it, like the Nightingale syndrome?
Do I get like a suicide out if I'm like, oh, I'm over this?
Oh no, yeah, I'll allow that.
Also, like the Island Boys would be like great material, you know.
Right, I feel like that's the one plus of the Island Boys is you're constantly gonna have new shit to talk about because anytime they open their mouth, it's just dumb.
Yeah. So,
but also, not gonna lie, their stupid little like 13-second song is really catchy and it got stuck in my head for like 4 days. All right. Next thing is called "Are You the Worst?"
Okay.
And it is a rapid fire of questions, and you're just going to give me a yes or no answer, and we're going to find out if you're the worst.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm ready. This is also, we're wrapping up the show, and we'll do, we can plug things for you if you want.
I'm probably terrible. I'm ready for this.
Have you ever stolen from your parents?
Yes.
Have you ever lied to a boyfriend or girlfriend?
Probably.
Have you ever been a bully?
Yes.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
No.
Have you ever worn Crocs?
Yes. I love Crocs.
Have you ever had a belly button or tongue piercing?
No.
All right. You didn't do that bad.
Okay, great.
I mean, the Crocs usually like automatic.
I have 2 pair.
Fuck. Okay, you did really, really bad. You did so bad.
I have 2 pair. Cool.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this thing up. Before we do, though, is there anything that you have coming up? Because we're going to drop this episode as soon as it's mixed and whatnot.
Okay. I do have a couple shows coming up. I have one. Well, when does this air?
Hopefully within the next 2 days. 2 days.
Okay. I have a show.
2 days.
I might already have this show by the time this is out, but I have a show Wednesday at the Comedy Chateau. That's at 8, and then I have a show Friday at the Pasadena Comedy at 8 p.m. and I think it's called like Friday Night Chaos, which I love, and I'm like, oh, Should have gotten in my car accident then.
Yeah, Friday Night Chaos. Why
Friday
not?
Night Chaos. That would have been way better. I do have another show, I think, on the 20th, but I haven't gotten like any of the info for that.
Okay.
And there's some other things lined up that I haven't gotten anything for. You know how it works. You always get the stuff
you
like
just like people like,
couple
hey, I
days
got a
before.
show coming up.
Yeah, but you can find me and like my shows on Instagram at Adouria VM, ADOURIAVM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever done or wanted to do roast battles?
Yes, I really want to do a roast battle. I haven't done one yet.
Okay. I'm trying to. When I have time, I host a roast battle here.
Okay, amazing.
So I'm trying to get my shit together. It works crazy right now, but as soon as I bring mine back, I'll bring you on to a roast battle too.
Amazing.
Okay. So you'll have another show coming up as soon as I get
Look
my
out
shit
for the
together.
roast battle.
Roast battles, and then
Might have Vincent.
her three other shows coming up. Go see her. Yeah, actually, Chateau's right down the street from my house, so if I'm not working, I'm gonna come.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Your name's awesome. You're a
Thank
fun
you.
person to hang out with. This has been great.
This has not been the worst.
No, it hasn't been the worst. And
been great.
most of the time, the people that I bring on, they're not that bad.
Except for the Crocs.
and Austin. But thank you for watching The Worst. Please, the whole likes and subscribes and the rates and the reviews. And goodbye.